Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Silver and Ghost are the same man. And I know like those 15 people who actually don't watch Power, like, ooh, Silver and Ghost. Well, just two characters on that popular TV show, Power. Go check it out. Now, I know because people have been getting into it, especially like the most recent episode, right? Where Ghost's wife, Tasha, got thrown on the table by Ghost attorney, Silver. And I know a lot of people, they were like, ooh, he's nasty and all of that. You know how we get into this stuff, and I'm just like, what's funny? And I've seen a lot of stuff, like people get into the show and they'll talk about the characters, right? And as y'all know, the way I do it, I don't talk about anything unless I can point it to real life, right? Because you have two characters here, because I know somebody, they even fans of the show, they're like, man, they ain't nothing like. Nah, they the same fucking man. Let me explain why I say that, right? First, you have Ghost. Now he's the former drug distributor, even though he can't quite get out of that life for various reasons, but that's the point of the show. But you have the former drug distributor who, now, a legit club owner. And he's trying to expand his stuff, right? And you definitely see the power there. You definitely see the power. This dude's a businessman, got the, penthouse. And then, but, he came up the shady way. He's still, at his heart, he's that D-boy. He's just that D-boy grown up, got a little bit of sense, right? And of course, many people find that attractive. Many women especially find that attractive. And for a reason that I'll get into later. Because it's not just because he's simply a D-boy, right? And then, on the other hand, when Ghost got in trouble, accused of killing somebody he didn't kill, they just didn't get him on the right person. This attorney was brought in. He had another attorney, but then a second attorney was brought in because, he specialized in getting people off of the death penalty. And that's Silver, right? Terry Silver. Now, I know some people say, oh, he's just a bougie attorney, right? And you can kind of tell that because the way they playing it, Ghost came from the streets, but Silver came from a more middle-class background, right? And there was even a scene in the show a few weeks ago where, they were talking about that. Because Silver, he could see right through Ghost, even though Ghost was trying to pretend like he was this, just this wrongly accused club owner. Silver, without knowing anything about Ghost, saw who he was and what he was. But that's still... both of that is still related to power. See, understand something, and this is why I say they're the same man. They just, both of them are men of power. They just different angles. You could probably switch their places and still get the very same thing. In fact, that's really why someone like Tasha, that's too popular a name on these shows. Why somebody named Tasha always doing some shit? Shoot, these writers needed to talk to each other or something. And for the real Tashas out there, all the Tashas I know in real life are like real sweet too. That's the funny thing. But anyway, right? Of course, she up in Silver right away. She is up in Silver right away. But it wasn't so much she was attracted to his business or what he did or that he showed her a little attention. Because like I said, Silver and Ghost are the same man. It's a question of power. They are both men of power. Now, I know people see that obvious with Ghost because, that's because a lot of people's minds need to be expanded. They say, well, he owns his business and everything and he's doing all this. But Silver's on that power too. People don't realize in the real world, an attorney, an attorney is power. A really good attorney, I'm saying a good attorney, a really good attorney, or especially a successful attorney, especially like a defense attorney. A defense attorney is a different type of power. They might not be running anything other than a law firm or something, but they know the system. They know the system in and out. And whereas somebody like Ghost might take out somebody with a gun, somebody like Silver will take somebody out through the courts. Because trust me, an attorney, they can, a really good attorney, they can find, you can say hi to them, they can find a case out of that. Or defend a case out of that. And also something about attorneys, and this is something that my mentor said, and I have to agree with him from personal experience. If you want to know what's going on in society, really know what's up with people, ask either an attorney or a prostitute, because they see the real thing. They see through shit. They actually get trained on how to read people. Or if they don't get formally trained, especially if they do trial work, they learn to pick up on shit. Because you have to, as an attorney, especially a trial attorney, you have to be able to read that defendant. You have to be able to read whoever you cross-examining. You need to be able to read the jurors and be able to look at them and say, all right, this one is going to vote for my client, this one isn't, all of that stuff. That's a different type of power. And overall, like I said, this ain't really about, I use this as a prop to talk about something deeper. And this is for men. Women will always be attracted to power. Women, regardless of how you weld it. Now, see, like I said, it's going to be different ways. Ghost, he's doing it through that strong arming and, selling drugs through the money thing, really. That's really what it comes down to. But see, all that power, but it takes somebody like Silver to get him off. And then somebody like Silver, he knows the system. He knows the system, right? He knows how to work things. And in fact, I remember a quote from The Godfather. I know I saw this in the actual book, The Godfather, by Mario Puzo. I think that's the name. But I actually saw the quote there. It might have been in the movie. Ironically enough, I read the book more than I've seen the movie. And it, Don Corleone, he was like, you can steal more, a lawyer with a briefcase can steal more than a gangster with a gun. See, attorney, like I said, that's power right there. A really good attorney, they know the system. And a really good attorney, they can walk into something and just say, you know what, I'm an attorney. This is what you're doing wrong. I've actually seen that before. I've actually seen that. And, well, I ain't going to discuss any private stuff with myself, but trust me, it gets you out of shit. And the thing is, when it's kind of ironic, right? It's kind of ironic. Because, you have this stereotype out here of women going for thugs. Or D-boys or something. But it's really like the top level, the ones who have power. But then the guy who might go the more legitimate path probably has more power. Because think about something like like in that Power episode the other night, there were a couple of politicians introduced. In fact, Lawrence Tate was introduced as a councilman. A politician got a lot of power if they use it. Politician got a lot of power because the politicians, they over the police. And in fact, really, if you really want power in society, you get the economics. Right? You get the money together. You support a politician. Politician pass laws and do things in your favor. That's how you do it. Like that white character, Stern on Power. That's who. If you want to talk about power, who got power on that show? That's the dude with the real power. It ain't the drug dealers. It's that rich man who got politicians in his pocket, and it's kind of just gonna be nice and subtle about it. See, that's another thing. See, I had a video on here. A lot of people came to this channel because of that video I did, Why Successful Black Men Are Low Key. People with real power don't show off. They just make shit happen. They don't talk shit. They don't go up here and say, they make the right phone calls. And really, the way they operate, you're not even going to know that they're around. But see, you know what? That's something I can get into in another video. But getting back to Silver and Ghost, you know, it's an interesting dynamic. I know, like, people, you know, getting into the show itself, I know some people like, man, nah, ain't no way. Like, two different dudes, but it's the same energy. That's why someone like Atasha, that's why she was immediately attracted to it. You know, in her eyes, you know, Ghost, she saw Ghost as weak. You know, he used to be able to handle everything. Now, you know, that dude, you know, she's like, she gonna go on to the next one. And see, that's a lesson for men. And that's a lesson out here in the game. You know, especially a lot of guys who want to say, hey, you know what, I'm tired of these women going for the thugs. I want to find women. Because that's what it comes down to. You know, but hey, you develop that power. That's the key. That's the key. Develop a real power. You know, understand the system, know how to get shit done, and trust me, it's an aphrodisiac. Women go crazy over it. It's part of a man's charisma, real charisma. If a man could just walk with power and get women. But anyway, right? Check the show out. Check out Love. For people who want to get deeper into stuff, look at the nuances. See, one thing people don't realize, or they tend to forget, man, I'm a writer. So I be you know, writing fiction, non-fiction, and be seeing people. That's how I know, like, little nuances and stuff. So, you know, in many ways, that's power too. You know, being able to look at somebody, be able to size them up real quick, because then you know how to push buttons, so to speak. Anyway, right? That's it. Something for y'all to think about. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.